Running out of money. Before we retired early, that was our biggest concern. And after 4 years, 300 plus videos sharing our journey to financial independence, thousands of your comments, we've come to the conclusion that it's also one of your biggest concerns. So today we're going to let you know the one major thing that you can either cut back on or eliminate in your retirement to save you thousands. But first, we're going to cover some other options that you may have to save you money as well.
The first one that we always think about is to look at our subscription services.
Yeah, I mean, we were very guilty of this one when we were getting ready to retire, and we still look at it today. But the thing is, we often sign up for all of these free trials or these 30-day free subscriptions for Amazon Prime, all these different things. And then we forget to go back and cancel it after that free period. I also, in my case, had a regular gym membership. I had a kickboxing gym membership. You don't need 2 gym memberships, just use one, right? Things like that, wine of the month club. Take a look at your credit card statements because without a doubt, you are paying for things unconsciously that you do not really need.
Okay, let's envision our retirement. What am I going to do? How much do I need to withdraw every single year? But we always need to consider something else, which is taxes.
Yeah, taxes can really eat into your retirement income. And I think it's really key, and not just for tax optimization, just your overall withdrawal strategy in general. It's important to utilize a fee-only financial advisor because they can really assist you in determining where you should be withdrawing your money from which account at which time in order to lower your overall tax bill at the end of the year, keeping more money in your pocket.
Yeah, and it's not the case that we are avoiding taxes at all. Let's just be clear on that. We know that we have to pay. We are happy to pay our taxes. However, you gotta be smart on how we pay them. And the only way is knowing from which account we are gonna withdraw first. And as a result, we can reduce our taxes bill.
So the third cost-saving measure that we really wanted to bring to your attention today is transportation. And in many cases, many households have 2 or even 3 vehicles sitting in their driveways. And this can really eat into your overall income at the end of each month. When you think about how much we spend on gas, on maintenance, on car insurance, it really does add up at the end of the year. And again, this is one area that Jeanne and I both saved money in.
And let me give you our example. We used to have 2 cars. I was working from home and I had a car parked on our garage while Christine was going to work on her car. And then we looked at each other and we thought, why do we have 2 cars?
Yeah, it was one huge cost saver for us. And we're not saying that this is going to be applicable to everybody, but generally, if you live in a larger metropolitan area, chances are you could survive with only one vehicle. Think of all the public transportation options that are out there. Simple conversations between each of you. Okay, what do you need to do today? Is there anything you need the car for? Can eliminate the need for 2 cars. Plus, these days, especially in larger urban areas, not only do you have public transportation, but you have Ubers and Lyfts, you have ride-sharing services and monthly rental services that you can just go and use a car if you need to leave the city or do something. So options are out there. It's a way to save money.
And the next question is, how many of you have a life insurance or a disability insurance? That was the case with us. And what have we done?
Well, we really took a look at our insurance needs. After we reached financial independence, it's pretty important that you take a look at what your insurance policies are. You may have too much coverage. You may not need all of the coverage that you're currently paying for. So in our case, what we did was we decided that we, at this point, were self-insured for life insurance needs. So we actually canceled our life insurance policies. That may not be the case for everybody, and that may not be your decision. But do take a look at what your policy covers, how much it's going to pay you out, and do you actually need that amount of money? Because your premiums could drop significantly if you change your insurance needs.
Yeah, and the only way that you can evaluate that is knowing and speaking with somebody who understands your financial situation. In our case, it's easier because we don't have any kids. It's only both of us. We don't have our home anymore. And as a result, why do we need a life insurance for something that we already have the money for.
Yeah, we had sufficient funds that if one of us were to pass away, the other one would be more than fine. So we did not need to carry that large policy any longer. Your situations are going to vary. We understand that. All we're suggesting is that you take a look at what your insurance coverage is, because there's a chance that you're paying too much for too much insurance.
And by the way, we are almost at the end of this video where we are going to share the biggest one that we think that we might consider cutting from your retirement. And in addition to that, we also have a document that we want to share with you with some other things that we never even thought about it. But let's keep going.
Right. So the very next thing that we want to talk about possibly cutting in your retirement is your health care. We're not suggesting you cut your healthcare insurance. What we're saying is that you need to start thinking about how you can prevent spending money on healthcare in retirement. And that involves things like working out, eating better, looking after yourself in the present day to avoid those expensive healthcare bills in the future.
I mean, it's easier said than done, right? And we are guilty of this right now. We've made a lot of progress since we stopped working in 2024. Are we done? Are we ready? No, we are not, but we know that this is something that we have to improve, and we are.
Yeah, and one other thing to think about in retirement with regards to healthcare is look outside of your home country, because there are so many great places around the world where you can actually receive top medical care at a very reduced cost of what you would in Canada or the US. We're talking about places, even Mexico, so it's not too far to travel to, over to Southeast Asia. All of these places have high levels of medical care, and you can get in very quickly to have a problem looked at or resolved, and at a fraction of the price. So geo arbitrage when it comes to healthcare can also save you quite a bit of money.
Okay, now it's time to talk about the biggest one that we have considered. Do you know which one we are talking about? Maybe not, but straight to the point, housing.
Yeah, now we're not suggesting that you're not going to have to pay for housing in retirement. It's possible. Perhaps your mortgage is completely paid off, so you no longer have a mortgage payment. But regardless, whether you own a home or you're renting, you will have a housing cost. What we're suggesting is that you need to look at cutting that down, because housing is one of the most expensive things anybody has to pay for on a regular basis. If you think about it, your house, if it's even paid for, consists of property tax, utility bills, yearly maintenance, monthly maintenance possible, right? It all adds up at the end of the day. And so what we're suggesting you do is take a really hard look at that house or the place where you're currently living. Is it too big for your needs? Is it going to be too much work when you're older? Is it potentially a safety hazard when you're older, with all different stairs and levels or a lot of outdoor yard work and maintenance?
At the end of the day, you might not be ready for that, and we totally understand. Our situation is different than yours, but even if you are not ready for this at this moment, you have to start thinking about that. And perhaps in 5 years, in 10 years, you can change your mind. And the reason is, why are you holding on this house if it is too large for your needs?
Yeah, if you're currently living in a 3 or 4 bedroom home and it's only 2 of you, do you really need all of that space? Now, we know that some people really enjoy outdoor work and maintenance, yard work, stuff like that. So potentially consider moving from a 3 or 4 or larger bedroom home down to a 2 bedroom home or a townhouse that's easier to maintain. So let's face it, as we get older, things tend to get harder, and perhaps you're not going to want to shovel that snow or cut the grass or weed the lawn, things like that. So just start to think about these things. And like Jean said, maybe 5 years down the road, you can consider cutting that housing cost, because that will save you thousands. So by cutting some or all of these expenses, it can really lead to a happier and more financially secure retirement. So give them some thought.
Thank you for watching this video, and we'd like to share with you a PDF with other ways that we can use to save money in your retirement.
That's it for this week, guys. We hope you have a fantastic one, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.